pedestal.
Some of you may know this, and others may not, but I knew Kris before she came to LT. Kris and I met back when she was the director of student activities at Morton High School, and I was the activities director at Geneva. We used to have IDSA board meetings in the corral, and I remember her saying that this is the place, LT, the best place in the world to work. If you fast forward 20 years from her time in the activities office to her tenure in the assistant principal's office, I'm confident Kris would say those same words today. This is a wonderful place to come to every day, and her absence will leave an enormous void for so many of us. During her career at LT, Kris has become the institutional memory, reminding us of long-held traditions while starting some of her own, most notably the All-School Assembly. We have her to thank. During Mr. LT, Kris has lovingly joked with every contestant while performing her very serious duty of being a judge. She helps keep the memory alive of those students that are no longer with us. Only she can make the Back to School Institute something to look forward to. Please note, she has not had a microphone in her hand in front of you all since the stripper incident. She is also singularly responsible for ensuring that there is more pink in everyone's closet than is normal or healthy. Only Kris can get high school boys to dress in tights, dance around the cafeterias, asking for relay donations, and make it seem cool. I have seen her chastise an LT student weirdo at a basketball game, while secretly, underneath her very firm expression, she is bursting with pride by the school spirit shown, particularly if we're playing Hinsdale Central. Anyone who's visited Kris's office knows she likes to collect inspirational items, almost as many as she's had students over the years. She is always hoping that a student sees or hears the right thing at the exact moment that they're able to benefit from it. I've often joked that she's allergic to blank spaces, or that she's the most organized hoarder I know. But seeing Kris amongst her things, you get a sense of what she values: kindness, perseverance, hope, and so much more. She has imparted so much good advice to her colleagues and students, and they have benefited from her wisdom. As she is packing to go, B&G gave out a little cheer. Okay, maybe a big cheer, because some folks will get vacation this summer from moving her 20-plus pallets between campuses. She's worked with so many students over the years, and many are her friends today. She is a loyal and fierce friend who is always looking for new adventures. As she starts this next adventure of retirement with a couple of months in Ireland, I'm certain she will keep everyone laughing at her LT stories. She won't be a stranger, but it will be strange to think of LT without Kris Costopoulos. How a good Greek girl came to love Ireland, I won't try and understand. But I finish today with an Irish blessing. May your troubles be less, your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door.
Show of hands, how many of you have started your tenure with us at LT in the last 6 years? How many of you are new within the last 6 years? This wasn't originally part of my plan, but with what I feel will be unanimous support from Brian Murray, I'm telling the stripper story. 6 or 7 years ago now, in the week just before school, the Buildings and Grounds team had to hire a company to come in and strip some wax from some of the floors in the science wing after hours. Liquids were poured into an upstairs sink and they ran into a clogged drain, which overflowed in the first floor janitor sink and spread out invisibly across the floor. Kris, walking through the area early one morning, slipped and fell multiple times and severely fractured her wrist. Covered in chemicals that were unknown to the paramedics and the firemen responding, a handsome fireman came and directed Kris to remove her clothes and take a shower with him. Kris felt better almost immediately. There's more. I followed the ambulance to the hospital, and while at the hospital, Kris was of course wearing a gown. Never known for being modest anyway, this hospital gown had a hole in the back. That was the day that Kris and I both agreed that beyond being colleagues and dear friends, we were probably going to have to be family. The next week, in the welcome back to school meetings, with all of you, our faculty, our principal at the time, Dave Franson, had asked several of the administrative team to cover some changes that we were making in the student handbook. And Kris had already been assigned to talk about the alcohol and substance abuse policy changes. She stood up in front of the faculty that morning and explained with great enthusiasm that it was ironic that she was going to be talking about the substance abuse policy because she was herself under the influence of some pretty strong drugs. She held up her casted arm to explain that it was okay that she had fractured her arm when she slipped and fell on some stripper. Faculty giggles turned to laughter, just as it did today. I'll never forget as the entire back row of teachers stood as one and gave Kris a standing ovation. Dave Franson stood back up, walked over, and tapped Kris out. That day, a number of you, as our faculty members, expressed that they found the administrative presentations more compelling when we were high. But it's not all nice things. We're going to take some shots at Kris. Here we go. This is the top 5 list of things that we're going to miss. All right? We'll miss the way that Kris liked to start each morning, sharing a kind word or a story during the moment of silence. Take that in just for a moment. That was an actual email. Thank you, Kris. And the number 1, we'll miss the way, Kris, that you always